Okay, welcome to this video. So, in this video, let us try to understand the issue of Taiwan. Taiwan, which was created as a Republic of China. Republic of China was created after Chinese Civil War that took place in 1948 and 49. Chiang Kai-shek, who was heading the nationalist government and had earlier fought with Mao against imperialist Japanese imperialistic wars in 1935-36. But as the time came to rule the China after the overthrow of imperialistic forces mainly Japanese forces, then Mao wanted that the labor unions or the local governments must take the commands only from CPI, Communist Party of, CPC, Communist Party of China, Red Indian Army. But Chiang Kai-shek wanted that the commands should be taken by local governments only when it comes from Chiang Kai-shek's organization Kuomintang. But finally, towards the end of the civil war, Chiang Kai-shek forces were defeated, and they were they were thrown out of mainland China, and they took shelter at in Iceland, just some 100 kilometer into ocean from the mainland China, known as Formosa Island. Chiang Kai-shek at Formosa Island formed the government of ROC, Republic of China, which was immediately recognized by United States of America as the legitimate government of China. It was followed by other European countries also having extended their recognition to ROC. On the other hand, Mao declared PRC, People's Republic China, and continued to assert that Formosa belongs to PRC. As such, there is no existence of an independent or sovereign country like ROC. However, it was ROC that got seat and place under newly constituted United Nations system with permanent membership with veto power. It was believed that the entire China, including the Mao China, that was PRC, is under ROC. So this is how veto power and permanent membership to Security Council was given to Kuomintang government of Taiwan, known as ROC, Republic of China. Okay, so representative of this Kuomintang government continued to participate in United Nations Security Council as the representative of entire China. On the other hand, this government of Mao got recognition mainly from countries having socialistic tilt, like India. India became the second country to have extended the official recognition to PRC after USSR, of course. So this is the history of ROC, that is present Taiwan, which is at present not recognized as a sovereign country. It's not the member of United Nations as an independent sovereign country. In 1972, something very important happened that changed the course of world history, international relation. In the wake of American defeat, that was almost defeat in Vietnam, Nixon and Nixon was the president, US president, and Kissinger was foreign secretary. Kissinger Nixon initiated dialogue through their Pakistani channels to negotiate with Mao, the chairman, and Zhou Enlai, the prime minister. This dialogue continued for three, 3 years. Pakistan played a crucial role in establishing the contact, providing all the contacts. This was the main reason why America sided with Pakistan in Bangladesh war. There were many other reasons, but America did not want to lose the contacts in China that was being provided mainly by Pakistan, through Pakistan. So in the end, that negotiation came, and following this negotiation, now Mao China agreed to enter into long-term trade relation with United States, provided Mao's conditions, following conditions are met. First, PRC should replace at, at United Nations ROC. ROC should be recognized only as the part of mainland China that is ruled by PRC. Right? China and its companies would be provided preferable access into United States market. Correct? And for America, that was diplomatically being led by genius Henry Kissinger, who was awarded Nobel Prize for Peace for stopping Third World War, which was quite possible in the wake of intensifying Cuban crisis, that was broadly part of Cold War. Very famously, Henry Kissinger wrote that by causing a split into communist world that was between USSR and China, we have won Cold War. So Cold War has been won by America. So the defeat of Vietnam was converted, or given an outlook that what was an apparent defeat in Vietnam has been given the look of victory, and victory, not ordinary victory, an extraordinary victory against USSR, the sole challenger to the power, the hegemony of America. So it was branded as American victory in Cold War. So what was clearly a defeat was created as a victory. It was victory because the main American policy since Harry Truman 1948 was containment of communism. American Foreign Secretary of the time, Dulles, had coined a term called domino effect of communism, that implied that if communism enters into North Korea, then it will go to South Korea, and from South Korea it will go to other, remaining Southeast Asian countries. If it succeeds in North Vietnam, then it will also spill over into South Vietnam. And from South Vietnam, there will be domino effect, and it will spill over. Communism will spill over into entire Southeast Asia. Now, Southeast Asia coming under communism would amount to the death knell for American foreign policy of Asia Pacific policy, right? Which had been declared as early as 1938 by Franklin D. Roosevelt as the destiny of America, Asia Pacific. So America, since the time of Roosevelt, wanted to be the main power in Asia Pacific, right? So to prevent the domino effect as imagined by Foster Dulles, the foreign secretary of the time, Harry Truman announced in 1949, after having, after, I mean, or simultaneously creating uh, three agencies which became instrumental in fight against Cold War. They were CIA, National Security Act, and National Security Advisor. These three institutions fought Cold War, carried on Cold War on behalf of America. So, parallel to this institutional creation, America declared its main foreign policy pillar containment of communism. Containment of communism. So, Kissinger said that if containment of communism was our main foreign policy goal in Southeast Asia, then by causing Sino Russian split as permanent, Sino Russian means China USSR split, we have divided the communist world, and with this division of communist world, America has emerged as the victorious. American war in Vietnam was for the purpose of containment of communism. So what could not be achieved by war now was achieved by this this agreement, America-China agreement, by which communist China was separated from the world leader of communism, Russia, USSR. So it was planned that China will be given market access in America in such a manner that it becomes a socialist market system, a market socialist system. So it was envisioned by Kissinger that China would be converted into a market economy. Once China becomes market economy, then automatically it would become one day non-communist and democracy. And that is the victory of capitalism against communism. So Cold War is officially finished. Cold War is won by America. So it all happened. America agreed to the Chinese condition, Mao conditions, and ROC was replaced by PRC at United Nations Security Council. And Chinese companies and the Chinese members were given access into American markets. China was provided technological support, access to American technology, American market, export, Chinese export in America. And that was the beginning of a new chapter. Mao died in 1978. After his death, there were some conflict. Finally, the man who took on the new destination of converting China into a market socialist country, Deng Xiaoping, came to power in 1979. So he was determined to convert China into a complete socialist, market socialist system, a completely industrialized nation. So he embarked upon rapid industrialization of China with the help of America, market help, technology help, financial help, training help, entrepreneurship development help. But what happened to ROC? ROC gradually lost the recognition even as an independent nation. So following America, other countries including India, they also gradually withdrew their diplomatic relations from Taiwan. Right? So Taiwan just remained in in many of the United Nation organization an observer, de-recognized as a sovereign nation following American policy. America accepted Mao's conditions that America has to accept one China policy. And one China policy is that there is only one China and no country should have any diplomatic relationship with Taiwan or with any other Chinese provinces, autonomous provinces like Tibet. India also under several pressure wound up its diplomatic relation and allowed only a Taiwanese consulate in Mumbai or Delhi. This is how gradually Taiwan lost its independent and sovereign membership of United Nations. But it continued to hold its democratic election. It continued. It was never. I mean, Taiwanese leadership was not comfortable with its merger into China because they had developed deep respect for the values of democracy, periodic elections, freedom of expression, freedom of occupation, freedom of business. So, in its political setup, Taiwan had become completely democratized, liberalized. It was impossible for this Taiwan to adjust politically with one party system of China. So, this Taiwan was never ready to be the part of Chinese political system. So, they insisted for their own political system, and that continues even today. So, what was once permanent Security Council member at present is not even a legally recognized member of United Nations system. But the importance of Taiwan is that keeping in mind this history of Taiwan, if the world, not entire world, but whoever who believes in the world that democracy is the solution to most of the problems of international system, war, conflicts, security of the rights of minorities, right? So whosoever believes that democracy is the solution, then democracy as a solution must begin with restoration of Taiwan as a democratic republic, as a sovereign democratic republic. Restoration of Taiwan as a sovereign democratic republic would send across the world a strong message that democracy can be restored and democracy holds the key to peace, stability, and resolution of outstanding problems. Without standing with Taiwan, the world can never seek, can never aim to solve the problems through democracy. It would be great dishonesty if the world doesn't understand the importance of Taiwan as a democratic country. If we don't stand with Taiwan at present, which is so deeply devoted and committed to the values of democracy, then the world would at large would lose the opportunity to restore democracy in the countries first which are willing to become democratic, and secondly, the countries which can be motivated and influenced by democracy. There are many countries which are partially following democracy but is still not completely democracy, theocratic, etc. Democratic restoration of Taiwan would send a strong message to the world that yes, democracy holds the hope. So if world could not stand with Taiwan, then the world would miss the historic opportunity. Second, if China has to be democratized, then it must begin and it can begin only from Taiwan. It would strengthen democratic forces in Hong Kong. Then it would finally strengthen the democratic forces in other provinces of China. So it will create a democratic domino effect. What was feared in 1950s, communist domino effect, then now is the chance for democratic domino effect. If there is restored democracy in Taiwan, it can create hope in Hong Kong, it can create hope in Manchuria, it can create hope in Tibet, it can create hope in Xinjiang, that may ultimately create the conditions for complete democratization with multi-party system in China also. So if we believe secondly that China should be democratized for overall safety and security and stability of the world, then it begins with the democratic restoration of Taiwan. This is why Taiwan is so important. It's a country, it's a small country, but highly developed country, one of the highest per capita income in the world. Many of the hardware companies of the world are from Taiwan. But the most important thing about Taiwanese people is that their love for democracy. They love democracy as much as any other liberal, Western liberal country. They don't want to go back to communist system or non-transparent system, right? So this is the importance of Taiwan for the world. This can be the beginning of world democratization. World democratization, if we believe it's a solution, then this is a historic opportunity. Okay. Then second thing is the second thing. What should be the second step for democratization of the world? This part I will not discuss in this video. We'll discuss in next video. But the second step for democratization of the world is secularization of theocratic country. Democratization of Taiwan, Hong Kong is the first step. Second step must be secularization of theocratic countries. We know what are theocratic countries and where they are in which part of the world. Unless they are secularized, their democratization would be impossible. So secularization followed by democratization of theocratic country would be the second step towards democratization of the world and democracy emerging as the main peace building factor and process that we will discuss in next video.